dash of Dave, he brings the cheer. Crafty wonders year to year. Scissors, glue, and ribbons dear. Handmade holidays appear. Old time charm with...
Hi everyone, it's Dash of Dave here, and I am back for another crafty video. Today, I'm gonna make you a star, yeah. I'm not David Essex. I don't know whether anybody knows who David Essex is, but he sang, "We're gonna make you a star." Anyway, I'm gonna make a star for you, okay, today. So we're gonna, it's the week that was. No, it's not the week. It's the month that was. It's the run-up to Christmas, and whether you're a Christmas fan or you just like stars or whatever, I'm going to show you how to make these that are beautiful. They can make them out of anything you like. You see them in the shops, and they're usually quite expensive, but they're so easy to make, and you can make them in any colour you like. You can use all of that paper up that you've been desperate to use. You can easily create it from any paper, newspaper, magazine paper, music paper, those single-sided sheets that you've like been hoarding and like thinking, what am I going to use these for? You can use them for whatever you like. You can make lots of stars, and they are super simple. Look, you see I made this out of pattern paper, and I'm going to show you how, and I promise you they are super simple. We'll have a few opportunities to learn the fold, but first of all, what we've got to do is we've got to get some square paper. Now, if you don't have any square paper, you've got some book pages, so this is some map page. All you need to do is you need to turn it into a square first. So straighten it up first, get two of the sides, the uncut, the untorn sides, square in the corner. Fold it over, so you're going to fold one edge to the other edge. Fold it so that it comes to a point, like so. Okay, and you can either cut up here, or what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a blade, because it's easier for me to cut lots of pieces of paper together using a blade than it is for me to use a pair of scissors. So just going to cut that bit off. You can then, of course, keep these pieces, because you can make more squares out of the pieces to make more stars in different sizes. Excuse me while I cough. COVID is still with me. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Okay, so once we've got that, we've got a square. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to take one of them, and we're going to fold it in half again, like we did, and just re-emphasize that score line that we've got. Okay, because you're going to need that score line to fold to. Then what you're going to do is you're going to open it up, and you're going to fold this edge into that score line that you've just made. Now, if you're trying to get a point at the corner, it's much easier to roll it further than you need it, make sure it forms a little tunnel, and then roll back from there and form it to a point, than it is to try and just do it in one take. Otherwise, what you find is it'll just go a little bit square in the corner. So there you go, do that, and then you're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So again, just fold it too far over and then roll it back from there, and you'll find you'll get a much pointier corner that way. Just pop that down. So take your time getting the first couple right. So that's the shape that we've made first. Then what we're going to do is going to take this pointy corner, so not the very sharp point, but the bit that's left unfolded. I'm going to fold that over and fold this point into the middle. Okay, and then we're going to take this corner here, and we're going to fold it over into the middle. Okay, so we've got that middle bit, making that sharp point in the corner there to the middle, and then we're going to do the same again. Now, this is so easy that your kids can do this, or your grandkids, or whatever. So that's our shape, and that's what we're going to do. But what we also need to do is we need to glue it. Okay, so made this shape, and you're just going to flip this back and see this square here. So we've got this natural square formed by two folds, and then a cut edge. We're going to put glue all over this. Well, you can put glue all over it. I clearly can't because it doesn't want to come out. So it's going to be one of them, is it? Today we're going to be like that, are we? You camera shy? I'm gonna make you a star only if my glue will come out. There you go. My glue's coming out now. So that's my glue is responsive to singing. I'm surprised it's responsive to my singing. So then we're going to fold it over and just stick it down like we had it before, but this time with glue underneath it. And then what you want to do is you just want to set that to one side and put something heavy on it just to make sure that that stays glued down. Then we're going to do that again. We're going to do it 5 times. So we're going to take our piece. So you're going to get very used to making this shape because we're going to do 5 of them. So again, fold it too far over, roll it back from that point, and you'll get a nice sharp point. Again, too far over, roll it back from there. And then to the middle, to the end, and fold it down. Then fold this flap over the top, a bit like an envelope. Okay, leave it folded down, take this corner, fold it to the middle, take this corner, fold it to the middle. Whilst it doesn't need a high degree of accuracy, what you do want to do is have fairly sharp points at the corner, because that's what makes the tips of the stars. So if you look at the stars, you want the tips of the stars to have nice sharp points. Okay, and then we fold it all back again, and then we're just going to put glue on that square, press it down, and put it under your weight. Then we're going to take another piece, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed this video up. I'll do one more piece together like this, and then I'll speed it up until I've done them all, and then you'll have a bit of a musical interlude with some of my more music, whether it be some that you've heard before or some new music, I don't know. It'll be something. So we're going to fold that, like I say, like that. You just want to make sure it folds into the middle. Fold that over. Okay, fold this to this corner. Oh, let's just straighten that up a bit. Fold this corner to the middle. Fold this corner to the middle. Open it back up again. Glue all over that square. You don't want to come off the square because you'll find it will all just glue together and you won't have anything then. You'll just have some diamond shaped, well, journaling cards instead. Okay, so that's that. So I'm just going to speed it up and I will come back to you.
It's that time, the lights all glow, the scissors snip.
So I have just got that one. That was the last one I did. I've just got that just under that weight, just while it completely glues like these have all had a chance to. Now we've made these, what you want to do is you want to just open it back out again and fold it flat. So you've got this right angle triangle, and you want to have them all this same shape, this same way round. So you're just going to layer them all up on top of each other, just making them the same shape and flattening them down. So again, just flattening it down. Just reshaping it, flattening it down. And then we can do the same with this last one. Do the same with that, flatten it down. Okay. So now we've got all of those, all the same shape. That's fine. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take one. Okay, and what you'll see here is I will just, right, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this one, and I will speed this bit up, but I'm just going to ink around all of my edges so that you can see what I'm doing. You don't have to do this. It will give it a bit of an aged look, But you don't have to do this. This is just so for your benefit, so you can see the lines. But I'm just going to do this for you, and then I'll come back.
The papers flow, crafting joy for all to see. Right here with dash of Dave, that's me.
Snowflakes fall, the season's near. A handmade smile for those I hold dear. Every cut and piece I say is filled with love from dash of day. So grab your scraps, your festive flair. Let's spread some kindness everywhere. From my heart to yours this year, it's a dash of Christmas cheer.
Okay, so I have just inked them just so you can see what I mean. So now you should be able to see this triangle here. This is where we are going to put some glue. So we're going to put some glue on this triangle. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that the glue comes up to this folded edge, because that's where your join of your star points will be. So that's this join here. Okay, so you want to make sure that your glue comes up to that, but not crossing over that fold, and then up to the back and through the middle. Okay, then you're going to take your next piece and you're going to lay that on top in that same shape, just making sure that all of that front edge all stays all nice and lined up. The back edge isn't a worry because it's at the back of the star. Okay, so once you've done that, you're going to then take the next piece. Make sure that's all lined up like I just said. There we go. Take the next piece and again up to that crease, that fold, across the back, across the top, and then through the middle. Okay, take the next piece and lay that on top, and again making sure that the front edges all line up nicely, and that's what will give you a nice even star. Even star. There you go. And then we're going to do the same again. So there's a bit of a theme going on here. You're going to do this for all of the pieces. So hopefully that inking helped you see what triangle I meant. It's very hard to show it on camera otherwise. Pop it on there. Line it all up. At the front. There we go. So this is the front, this bit here. Okay. This flat edge is the back of the star. Okay. And then press that down and then do the same again. Okay, across the back and through the middle. Okay, then we're going to put that on there. We're not going to do this next piece just yet. Okay, because this last piece is the bit that's going to join the whole thing together. But this is when you need to think about how you're going to create your hanging. Okay, so there are two ways to do this. You can You can either, like I have done, hang these so they hang from a join, or you can do it so that they hang from a point, whichever way up you want your stars. I like a mixture of the two because no two stars are the same. They are like snowflakes. They are all different. So if you want to do it in the join, what you're going to do is you'll get your ribbon. Okay, I'm just going to show you with a bit of ribbon. I'm going to do it on a point this time. And what you're going to do is your logic brain says you're going to put this here and it's going to come through to the middle. But that's not the right way round. If you do that, then your string will pop out here and it will hang like this. And that's not the way, well, you might want it to hang like that. It's entirely up to you. But what you need to do is to have it this way. So the cut edge goes up to the middle. You would glue all of this bit down up to that edge there, and you'd leave that bit free from there, and that'll be your hanging bit. But we're going to hang this from a point this time. Okay. So because we're hanging it from a point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue again up to that folded edge all the way round and fill in the middle. And then what we're going to do is, this is the fun bit, is you're going to pull it all the way out and round, and this is when you go, oh my gosh, is that how the star's formed? This is not how stars are formed, this is how our star is formed. And then you're going to pinch it all together, so from the inside, on the inside the sun still shines. Yeah, which is quite apt, because this is a map of Australia, and that was Prisoner Cell Block H. That was the theme music to Prisoner Cell Block H, which was filmed in Australia. So isn't that apt? So that's our star, and you just want to shape it. You know, just pop it. If you just pop the creases a little, they'll fold out again a bit. Okay, and then what you want to do then is you want to add a hangy bit. I'm going to put a little loop on mine. In order to make that, I'm just going to staple these two pieces together. Oh, actually not with the rusty staple, because there's no point putting a rusty staple on, because you're not going to see it. So let's staple those two pieces together like that. And then I'm going to stick that just on the inside of that point. And you can pinch the point together just to hold it, so that it just holds nicely in there. So we're just going to put a bit of glue on the inside of that point. Take my ribbon or string or whatever it is you're going to use and just pinch that within there. And I'm just going to put a peg on that, because then that will hold it in place while I'm rambling. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that to dry. And in the meantime, I will make another one. Okay, so this time I'm going to make one out of some leftover paper that I had. So you always need 5 pieces. You always want your paper to be fairly, you don't want it to be too thick. You can make it out of cardboard. It just makes it really hard when you start multiple folding on pieces of cardboard. So I remember, because you're using 5 pieces, you want 5 pieces that kind of go together. I think I'm going to use, there's 2 there and 3 there. I'm going to use those instead. Okay, so not that. So we're going to put that all together, square it off, and then we can just fold that first fold. You can just do it all together. Put that first fold in, because that's just your reference point. And as you take them off, you can then just fold them properly. Okay, so again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this. I'm going to fold this the first time, and then we'll speed it up and we'll meet back here once I've folded them all. Okay, so we've got that middle reference point. Then we're going to fold to the middle. Remember, if you overfold, so you've got this weird corner here, and you pull back from that corner, you'll find, I know my fingers are in the way, but if you pull back from that corner, you'll get a much sharper point if you come back from it than try and get it on the first attempt. Okay, so like that, up to there, and put that score line in. Okay, and then do the same on this side. Over roll it, roll it back, overfold it, sorry, roll it back from there, and you'll get a nice point, and put that in. Fold that bit over into the middle, fold this from the middle to sorry, fold this with keeping your finger in the middle, just to emphasize that middle line. It just means that you just get a nice point at this end, and then do the same on this one, kneading those 2 bits in the middle. Okay, if you want to put a score in it, you can. It just helps you fold, and then you're going to pull these back like I said before, and we're just going to glue in that tab square. Okay, I'm going to press those down. Okay, I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to speed this up. Okay, so I've done all of that. I'm not going to ink them this time. I'm just going to glue them together. So you're going to have to do alternates. So if you've got you know, if you've got 3 of one and 2 of another, you will have to remember that because there's 5, two of the same will come together. But you know, you could make them with all different colour points on each of the star points. That's entirely up to you. You can do you, and I can do me. So I'm going to put those together. You'll find that you just become really speedy at doing this. So once you've done it a couple of times, you'll be like, okay, yep, know what I'm doing. I can do that. Oh no, Dave, not that. I know what I'm doing. I can just put those together. That's really simple. I find that I can do stuff like this at work. You know, somebody says, oh, I could just do with some stars in that. You know, when I worked in retail and we needed to dress windows, just need to make some stars. This was just really quick. You could just use some copier paper and make stars. You could print it with some nice Christmas images and make stars out of it that way. So press them all together, and this time I will glue it so that we have the stars in the join in the middle, we'll have it so the ribbon is in a join. Okay, so this time what we're going to do, this is our last panel, so we're going to glue along here and around just like we did before. This time though, we're going to put a ribbon to hang it with on there. Again, we're just going to, I find just stapling these bits together just stops it from all unraveling, or one of the ends slipping out. Just put an extra bit of glue on that bit, and remember you want the cut end pointing towards the middle, which doesn't, just for some reason, just doesn't seem logical. Okay, and then you want to put glue over that ribbon as well. And if you want to use string, that's entirely up to you. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to fold that all the way round. These two are going to meet in the middle. It's going to press together. That's our hanging thing. We'll just put a peg on that whilst we look at the other one that is cooked and done. So this is the one that we've done before. Take the peg off that. That's our hanging loop at the top. I know it's very hard for you to see, but there you go. That's one of our stars. They don't have a flat back. They kind of just hang. If you want to put 2 lots together, you can put them so that they kind of interlock at the back. That's entirely up to you. But I just think they look fab. And isn't it nicer to have some nice handmade decorations at home? If you watched me last year in the run up to Christmas, I did exactly the same sort of thing. I made some stars. I made stars out of a single sheet of paper, so a 5-pointed star out of a single sheet of paper. I made some baubles. We'll do some more stuff like that this year. So our Wednesdays, I don't know, we'll call it Wish It Wednesday or something like that. And so then there you go. That's the one where it's hanging in the space. And as you can see, I can make these in a trice. You can literally just sit and fold squares for days. Hang on a minute while I kind of get that in there. There we go. So let's pull these back in. So you can have them in all different sizes, all shapes and sizes, all different colours. This one was just made out of a piece of book page. This is some music paper. This is map paper. This is some 6x6 paper that I would never have used otherwise. More 6x6 paper. So there you go. So I hope you like those. I hope you might give those a try. Really simple, honestly, very simple to make. And I hope that if you did like it, you'll give me a thumbs up. Well, I certainly was edging towards 3,000. I don't know whether I've got there yet or not, because I filmed mine a week and a half in advance. So anyway, thank you for being here. I'm going to have to cough before I finish. So thank you for being here. Don't forget, my name is Dash of Dave, and I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much, folks. Take care. Lots of love from me. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye. Bye. I'm gonna make you a star, yeah.